Notts County Talk. I'm joined by Neil. We're actually at Meadow Lane. Asked Neil to do a fan chat, and we decided the best place to meet in the middle was Meadow Lane. So we've somehow ended up here for an away day for Dover. But Neil, what do you want to talk about first?
Should we leave the streaming till last, or should we get that out of the way?
Whatever you want.
I think if they're going, I understand it's the first game for people for stream, but if you're going to offer a service and get people to pay for it, you've got to make sure it works. And whoever sent out the email didn't send the right link. And then, I got about 15 minutes first half, about 15 minutes. 10-15 minutes second half. more than a hell of a lot of people. So, but on a serious point, people are paying good money for it. And when you think about where we are in terms of jobs and what have you, and people use football as a something to cheer them up, win, lose or draw, it's still money.
People are talking about, come on, Dover in financial hardship. At the end of the day, so's everyone. Dover have more money than individuals do.
They've got more money than me.
So,
but they're selling a service. If you turned up if you bought a ticket and turned up to the game and it was called off, you get a refund.
Exactly. Incredibly frustrating. But another thing that was frustrating, we've lost.
Yeah. From what I could piece together through what I saw and Charlie's commentary, we obviously had chances, and I saw the Cal Roberts one where you'd normally stick on him to score, but they didn't take them. So
there was a lot of chances from, like you say, from what we could see and what we could hear.
Yeah,
there was a lot of chances, and we could easily be stood here now talking about a 2-3-0 win because Notts really ramped it up in the second half. But George alluded to it in our instant reaction. We've not got a player like Dennis now.
No, true, but it's that the pitch. I was just listening to Neil Ardley, and all right, Dover have won. It's an excuse, but it is a reason. And he said Hessenthaler came out and apologised to him for the state, but it looks like no one's touched it except for the last week or so. For quite some time, it looked a real industrial pitch. But we've got to get used to that, and the players have got to deal with that. It's the same for both sets of players. To be honest, as soon as I saw the corner and there, lads, and I thought, I've got one hell of a horrible feeling here. And he rose and it went in off the bar. I thought, yeah, our old Achilles heel again.
Yeah, exactly. Something I do want to talk about is Enzio. Didn't feature much in pre-season. Didn't start in the playoff final. Didn't start again today, and O'Brien was out on the wing. For me, he's got to be starting. If we've got Enzio and Roberts, they're on either wing for me every single day.
Yeah, I agree. I I like Jim, and obviously, I can't second guess it, Neil, but I'd fancy that he will start on Tuesday. He should do. Maybe for the away games he thought, I'll go with Jim, a bit more defensively minded in terms of his ability of tackling, etc. But should we be thinking like that? I don't think so. I'd want to see Enzio because he's always got something in his bag,
Yeah.
And I always think he's better to have him on than to bring him on.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think sometimes it takes him a wee bit of time just to get into a game.
This wasn't a Stockport away, no disrespect to Dover. This wasn't a Stockport away or Wrexham away where we have to be defensive. They're going into this game, and this is one of the games you pinpoint as 3 points. Guaranteed.
We should do. Yeah.
We should be guaranteeing 3 points from this game.
We should do. But I would also. I'd take a little bit. Well, it's the first game of the season. If we'd come away with a draw, would have considered that a success. I think.
Yeah, I would.
I'd have taken that. But they've now got to come out on Tuesday here against Altrincham, and they've got to win for me. I think they've got to put a marker down, and they've got to play well. Again, it's hard to judge. I only saw that briefly. What I saw of it, the ball didn't seem to zip along. It seemed to just get stuck. The passes weren't quite going to feet, and maybe maybe that's a little bit that plays into it. Because let's face it, that pitch at Meadow Lane, it's a carpet.
I fancy seeing on on Wednesday night when the game is. We'll see how Notts really want to play this season when they've got the facilities for it.
Yeah, I mean, I welcome the fact that they're looking to play it through midfield, etc. But there are sometimes possibly when they are going to have to, be a little bit more direct, a little bit more industrial, and they've got to. I don't know why it is set pieces, corners, and that. We know in this league that that's going to be a threat for a lot of teams, because a lot of teams will work on that premise of getting the big lads in. And again, we've been undone by it. I'm sure they'll have their autopsy on the video and say, well, who was meant to be marking him? But I would like to see us put it right quite quickly, because I'm always sort of, well, where you are normally in October, November, tells you where you're going to be for the rest of the season. Well, we've got to say where we're going to be in December, January will tell us where we're going to be at the end of the season, and we need to be at the top end for me. It's hard because I didn't really get to see that much. Had to listen to Charlie and sort of piece it together to get my own opinions.
Yeah,
but we had the chances to win it, but we didn't take them.
Exactly. Neil, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll speak after Altrincham Wednesday.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll do so. Yeah.
Cheers.